Good morning. I wanted to share one of the things that we're doing to help out one of our market sectors when collaborating with other architectural firms inside of Revit models. So we have a group that may often do interior furnishings or FF&E stuff, and they do not work within the main architectural model. They have a secondary model that they'll work in for their stuff, which means that they're trying to schedule room, finishes or room information. Then they need their own rooms within the model because they actually need to apply information to those rooms, and they cannot do that within the main architectural model. So we were looking for a way to maybe help expedite that process a little bit. And so what we came up with was a way to copy and or link rooms between or from linked files, and try to keep tabs on those throughout a project. So just a real quick example here. This is just like a tester linked file. So if I select this, you can see the whole thing selects. And this is a level 1 and a level 2, just to show you that there are rooms on both levels. But there are also rooms out here that are not contained. This is an example. This room in the linked model is placed, but does not have any area. So you can see here it's not enclosed. This would be a family toilet / changing room. I just want to show that because it's going to be kind of an example of how we filter some of that stuff out before you bring them over. Also here, the room schedule that is currently reading from that linked file as well. So if I select here on this, you can see that's room link is the name of that linked model. And you can see only these highlighted kind of light purple color are actually rooms that are placed and have an area to them. The rest of them are not placed there. So it's really pretty straightforward. All you do is go up here to our toolbar, you go to linked rooms, and then you go copy rooms. And once you do that, you can select a link that you want to copy rooms from. It will populate all the rooms that, again, are placed and or have an area. So it's looking for things, actual placed rooms that we're trying to bring across. We're not trying to bring a bunch of rooms like this one over here that's maybe placed but doesn't have an area, or ones that aren't placed at all. So I'm going to go ahead and just say we'll select all those. We can also tag them as we're doing it. So I'm going to say I want to use our name, number, and area tag. So pick that tag, pick these rooms. We can hit create here. And what you'll see is that those all dropped in, and now we have actual rooms within the model that we're live in that are named and numbered to match the rooms that are behind them. So if I slide this over and then go back here and pick this linked room, you can see that it is a mother's room and that it is number 111. And this tag is very much, you can see with the leader line or the reference line, that it is tagging the local room and not the room in the linked model. Something else that we can do with that, let's say if we come down here and say, for instance, some of these get renumbered or some of these get renamed from what they used to be. So say we had linked these in and that room was, storage and whatever number it was before. We'll do the same thing up here, just do a couple of them. Just to show here that this works. And so as we're going throughout the process, instead of trying to manually track when rooms change or they adjust, they move around, we can just go back up the linked room tab again. We can go to update rooms, and it goes back out to that linked model and checks the information and changes them back and or updates or adjusts them to whatever the current name or number may be. And you can tell here there is no room, did not place any over the top of that one, just the rooms that are there. It will also check. So if I were to back this off and from the undo menu, it actually does give you the linked room tags and the rooms creation as separate transactions. So you can roll back the tags without actually rolling back the rooms. It just makes it a little bit easier sometimes if you don't want to do that. I'm going to roll back even the rooms. And I'm going to pick this link. And then here, I'm going to change it to not be room binding. So that link is no longer room binding. So if I were to just manually try to drop a room in, it's going to say it's not enclosed because it doesn't have anything to grab. But if I undo that real quick, so if we tried to go do this now, we pick this link, it's actually going to tell you, hey, this model is not room binding. Would you like to make it room binding? And if you actually hit yes, then it will now be room binding behind. So if again, if I had to come through and just pick a couple of these, it doesn't really matter which ones we do. And if you do not pick a tag, then it does not tag it with anything. So now you can see it put those 3 rooms down and it did not create a room tag. So if you pick a room tag, it tags all rooms and all views, all plan views. And if you do not pick a tag, it doesn't tag anything. So that's just an easy way to copy those rooms to try to keep them linked across. And I think I may look at a way to bring some additional, be able to select some additional parameter information to bring with it, because right now it just brings name, number, and I believe department along with it. So yep, that's kind of just something we've been working on. It's easy for when we're working with an architect that we need to copy stuff apart. And it's very similar to our create spaces tool, which creates MEP spaces from a linked architectural model in a very similar fashion. All right, thanks.